All right, hello everybody, this is Mrs. Bader from Sylvan 7th grade science, and I just wanted to give you a tutorial on what is in the notebook for evolution and Earth's history. That way, if you have had some struggles, you can get this in order. So we've got the cover page, 4 pictures, remember, and the title, and then our table of contents. And I just want to zoom in for you and give you a chance to pause. I'll zoom in and focus, and then get in focus. That way, if you need to pause right here, is a good spot to write everything down that is there and let you know what you need. The last thing that we added were 2 pocket pages, and I'll go over how to do a pocket page at the end of the tutorial so that you don't miss out on getting those in place. They are kind of different because they're facing each other this time, so I know that sometimes it's a little bit confusing, but you can watch this as many times as you need to. You can pause and you can rewind and watch whatever part you need. So my unit is starting off on page 76 and 77. We're in different places in a lot of these notebooks because sometimes it took a few more pages for things. It's not so much the page numbers as it is the items. If they're out of order, as long as they're all together in this evolution unit, I'm happy. It's a good thing. It's fine. All right, so I am going to move through this very quickly and show you what is included. This should be filled out. This is a KWL on evolution, and I just started it as an example. Here is a page that was for vocabulary, so they were assigned a foldable, and students have a vocabulary list that they got at the beginning of the unit, and they used to do their vocabulary. Turn the page. This on this left side should be the Bill Nye notes. So this is given to this was given to them, and they should have this filled out. Just in case they don't have it filled out, it's really easy to watch the Bill Nye videos online. If you go to YouTube, go to Bill Nye and look up the one on evolution. This can easily be made up, and I have some extra copies of that. Notes on natural selection. From the 19th, so what causes evolution, how did Darwin develop the theory of natural selection, what is Darwin famous for studying, and how does natural selection work? So those were notes that we took. So if you need those notes, you can go ahead and pause it and get those copied down. The unfortunate thing is that we've already taken the test, but if there is a reason that you feel you don't have this information and you wanted to maybe do a retake or whatever, you can come and talk with me. I'm interested in you learning the material. So the next set of pages, 82 and 83, is a lab. So there should be 2 pages here. There is, it should be graphed, it should have a conclusion, questions filled out, and definitely the data table. For the lab on natural selection, which we used beans, and it was about bunnies going through different generations and how many of them died and things like that. The next set of pages, you should, on the right hand side, you should have notes from March 24th about adaptation or extinction. How do organisms survive environmental change? And we talked about adaptation at this point and what it means to move into or move out of an area and why species sometimes go extinct. And then on the left hand page was a picture of the finches that Darwin studied and why they were adapted to their particular environment. And then an attempt, student sketch, so that these questions here were answered. All right, and I'm just going to get that there nice and clear, just in case you needed to copy those notes down. You got a chance to pause. Okay, then this right and left-hand side, there is a graphic organizer on the different methods of fossilization. So there are 5 in there. If you look on page 246 to 248 in the book, you can find this information and get that graphic organizer written down. Get the answers for that one. Then there were notes given on the fossil record and what it is and how do we know organisms have evolved over time. This happened on the 25th. And I went ahead and highlighted what I felt was the most essential for note taking, because I know that some of my students write faster and some write slower, and sometimes it's hard to get everything down during the time that we have. And so the things that were highlighted were the most essential pieces. And then you should have a summary at the bottom of each of these, just kind of recapping what it's about in your own understanding, just a statement telling what we covered that day. Okay. Then the next set is a flow chart on the rock cycle. Information from page 286 to 288 should be used to complete this graphic organizer. I will say this, that there's one little piece, if you're filling yours out, the transportation and deposition part of this, after weathering, we kind of put into one step, and then we talked about lithification. And this, the rock cycle, was a quick review. I want it to be colored, but if it's not in color, at least the labels will earn you a 4 out of 5 and having it in the right place. And then we did a lab on fossils and how they're formed, molds and casts, and we had some fun with clay and made a lot of mess. But really the important part is following up and making sure that you have your lab filled out and in place. Okay, then the next page is a summary of the article, Big Sea Creature Unearthed in the Desert. And this should be annotated. And there should, like I said, student writing 2 paragraphs summarizing this article. Then there should be a list of your personal life events according to this Creating Timelines activity sheet. So this is the assignment, which ended up being a very large poster, and this is just a visual example of what it might look like on a small scale. Many students miss this assignment, and this is something that I'll still accept. It's late credit, but they need to do this assignment, the personal timeline. And so that directions for that should go opposite the list of life events. Then we had, following the bit about timeline, we had a geologic timeline, taking a look at Earth's history and the time that Earth has been changing and developing and where we fit into that. And we also did some notes on a video that was very interesting about the history of Earth and how it would look if it was 1 calendar year and how everything would fit, and just made this analogy of Earth's history as only 1 year in time. So it's very interesting. And then the last bit are 2 pocket pages. And I think instead of doing this tutorial at the end, what I will do is a completely new tutorial just on pocket pages and how to set those up. So here you should have your notebook check. We had number 6 and number 7 that you can tuck in there and give it a place. And then evolution practice test, and you will be getting the test back probably on Monday because we have egg drop tomorrow. And we will put the test in the pocket page. And then we will be starting the human body systems. And so there's the setup for the human body systems cover page that was due today. And then the table of contents, which we haven't even started yet. So I'll give you a table of contents on Monday as well. And then we will get started and get a little preview of some of the things that are coming up. And that's really quick. Thanks. Hope this helps you.